Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello everyone. Today we will talk about one of the hottest topic in the world, which is money laundering. Before we go in details in here, I would like to introduce to you guys the presenter for this topic. We are Jasmine Azizul Fitri bin Johar, Muhammad Haris Hilman bin Mazlan, Nur Razan Abdul Haris, Nur Farzana Muhammad Fadil, and me myself Muhammad Helmi Muhammad Rafi. What is money laundering? It is a form of what-collar crime used by criminals who seek to hide their profits or any other benefits gained from the illegal activities. It enables criminals to hide their accumulated wealth while avoiding prosecution and undermine the integrity and stability of financial institutions and systems, discourage foreign investment and distort the flow of international capital. Primary law for this action is Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act 2001. We're gonna call it as AMLA 2001. It provides of the offense of money laundering, the measures to be taken for its prevention. The main organizations involved in preventing these illegal activities is Bank Negara Malaysia, BNM. The AMLA is enforced by various agencies depending on the nature of the crime under respective purviews. BNM is only empowered to investigate money laundering cases relating to laws administered by BNM, which are Development Financial Institution Act 2002, Money Service Business Act 2011, Islamic Financial Service Act 2013, and Financial Service Act 2013. The next topic will be continued by Ms. Nur Farzana.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. Now I will proceed with standards regarding money laundering in Malaysia. The standard about money laundering in Malaysia is AMLA, which is the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act 2001. This standard is to raise awareness about how society should respond to money laundering. There are two sections in AMLA regarding money laundering, which are Section 613 and Section 41. Section 613 of AMLA 2001 provides for the offence of money laundering and action is taken to stop it. This is to protect property involved in or derived from such crimes from being lost. It includes terrorist property, proceeds of illegal actions and criminal instruments, as well as matters that related to them. Next, according to Section 41 of AMLA 2001, a person who commits a money laundering offence, which are all transactions involving proceeds of an unlawful activity or instrumentalities of an offence, is subject to a maximum sentence of 15 years in prison and a fine of not less than 5 times the sum or value of the proceeds of such an offence at the time. So that's all from me, and now I will hand over the presentation to Haris. Thank you.
Money laundering can be caused by a variety of circumstances, whether it's within the country or state or beyond the borders where the regulations are unrestricted or poor. So one of the factors of money laundering is tax evasion, when a person or a company tries to hide their assets as well as their sources of incomes to avoid paying any tax payment. Other than that, there's also the bribery, where the money launderers tries to manipulate the financial regulatory authorities to transfer the money abroad. With this, it is hard to trace the sources or the destination of the money laundering. So the next one, when there's a bribery, there's also corruption. Corruption is an immoral behavior where it aims at achieving a personal's advantage through misuse of power and bribery. So for example, we usually hear politicians or ministers try to take advantage of their power and bribe the authorities to silence them and hide them the movement of the money laundering. The consequences of money laundering may not take an effect immediately, but it will take a toll on every parties in the long run. For example, when a company is suspected with a money laundering activities, the company will have to suffer with additional activities during the interrogation process. In the worst case scenario, the company will have to close down due to the time taken by the authorities to probe and identify the money laundering activities. As a result, the company will have a difficult time to recover and resume their normal operations. Money laundering also have an indirect impact on the economy, because when the money laundering companies are having a advantage on providing things at a lower price, the industry will take a toll, because the business will not be as productive as it once was. Money laundering also will have an impact on the business owner's trust, because when there's a problem in the money laundering society, the business owner have to be more suspicious with the investors' capital sources. It is important for the government to play a role in providing and improving the anti-money laundering rules, so that the business may operate at a safe and transparent environment.
Now, let us look into a case of money laundering in Malaysia. Geneva Malaysia Sdn Bhd was incorporated in 2004 and had fulfilled all bank negara requirements as a scheduled institution under Section 21 Clause 1 of the Banking and Financial Institution Act 1989. They claimed to be a Sharia-compliant gold to the business, and they operate based on a unique sharing platform that allows the customers to own gold through a profit-sharing model, which allows them to optimize their savings potential. They also encourage customers to have physical gold bars in their possession, and they proudly claim to be the only Sharia-compliant gold investment company. Geneva Sdn Bhd operated based on the principle of al-buy, which is basically a system of selling and buying back. So they sell gold bars as asset to customers, and later they will buy them back at a deferred payment basis where the price is higher than the original cash price. This is one of the factors that attracted customers to invest in Geneva Sdn Bhd. However, what was hidden behind this attractive investment was Geneva actually sold the gold bars to customers at prices that were 25 to 30% more than market price. The returns that the customers received were only 2 to 3% of what they actually deserved. Bank Negara Malaysia had Geneva on their Financial Consumers Alert list ever since July 2012, but they only confronted the company when they received complaints from customers who did not receive what they were promised. The company was charged in 2014, and during this time, it was estimated that the company owes almost 80 million ringgit to their customers, and they have been operating on 10 times of their liabilities compared to their assets. Customers who lost their assets can make claims towards the seized money or other properties that had been frozen by the authorities. Those who were affected were also permitted to sue the company based on the sale or purchase of gold. Only in August 2020 that the parties involved in the money laundering activity was punished in accordance with Section 25 Clause 1 of the BAFIA 1989 and Section 4 Clause 1 of the Anti-Money Laundering Act 2001. They were found guilty to the charges for accepting money from depositors without a valid license under Section 25 Clause 1 of the BAFIA and for involvement in money laundering activities at the Kuala Lumpur High Court. On the screen are the sentences that were given to Geneva Malaysia Sdn Bhd along with its ex-directors, general managers and other related individuals. The High Court ordered that default in paying each BAFIA and AMLA fine will result in 2 years imprisonment, and imprisonment under both acts will run consecutively.
Assalamualaikum, I am Jasmine, and these are the role of internal auditor in preventing money laundering. Internal auditors are the one who is responsible in detecting suspicious activity in the company. We should see how exactly the internal auditors combat with the money laundering activity. So the first one is overseeing and monitoring in the anti-money laundering movement. The internal auditors need to be vigilant as they need to keep up with each activity to avoid the emergence of money laundering activity. Second one is to report the detected financial crime to judicial authorities. The crime that need to be reported to judicial authorities may vary for each country, as certain countries' law and regulation will not protect business with low auditing and reporting environment, and they will potentially lose their client if they did. And finally, to assess effectiveness of internal control and compliance to the AMLA 2001. The intensity of assessment may vary according to the reputation and size of company. We believe that the money laundering activities are being monitored closely with the existence of law and regulations such as AMLA 2001 and BAFIA. The suspect of money laundering can be investigated as the public prosecutor have the power to do so in accordance with the AMLA 2001. However, we should be cautious with the upcoming issues in money laundering activity. It is recommended that we should increase our authority enforcement, as to one of the factors of this illegal activity existed is because of poor authority enforcement. The illegal activities of money laundering can harm the business greatly because if they are proven to be involved in this money laundering activity, it could shut down the business due to lack of trust from public. To conclude our case study, internal auditor play a huge part in discovering and combating against the money laundering. However, the hidden transaction covered by this smart criminal is not to be taken lightly. The internal auditor need to be extra firm and competent in order to exclude this money laundering from this country. That is all from our group. Thank you.